Hey guys, Loves to Loom here. Today I'm going to show you my Easter bracelet, which is called April Bliss, and it is a reversible one. This one here is actually a 5-bar wide one, but I do have a smaller, skinnier one coming in a few days, and that's made on 3 bars, so keep an eye out for that. You do have to make a fishtail extension at the end if you do not have 2 sets of 5 like I did on this one. The band breakdown is about 178 bands plus about 30 extension bands. That does also include 46 of the border, 44 of where the pink and yellow are. You just divide it by the number of colors you're using. You need 66 of the teal on the back and 22 of the teal in the front. You also need 1 C-clip and your hook, and I'll show you the loom setup. So to get started, we're going to have all 5 bars aligned next to each other, have the openings facing away from us. And if you do want to avoid an extension and you have enough bars, you can set another 5 right up in front of this one. I'm just going to stick with the 5. So we're first going to lay this pastel yellow border. I'm going to use white for that instead. And we're going to start by taking 1 loose one and laying it on the center pin for closing it later. And then we're going to go to the left and to the right 2 times to get it started like that. Push that down some, and sticking with that same color, we're now going to lay some straight ones on this outer row and this outer row. Lay a straight one, and then lay 1 more in the very center going straight. Keep that color close by because we will be alternating. So now we're going to grab where the yellow and the pink are. So I alternated 2 colors here. You could do 1, 2, 3. It's up to you. I did 3 on this one and 2 on this one. I'm doing just 2 today. Now, when we lay these bands, we have to lay them as double bands. So 2 bands will be laid right now, and we're going to lay them on the outer row connecting to the bar next to it, and then using the same color again, still 2 bands, we're going to come over to the middle and also connect it to the one next to that, like so. We're going to push that down, and we're going to go back to our first color and lay straight bands the same way we did the row before. So we will lay these straight ones on the outer rows and on the middle row. So we're going to go back to laying these horizontal bands now, but I'm going to switch to my second color, which on this one is yellow. I'm going to use neon green. Don't forget to lay it as double bands, and we're going to actually lay it starting on the left side this time and connecting it to the pin next to it. And now come to the middle and grab your 2 bands again of the same color and connect it to the pin next to that. So you can see how the first one started on the right in the middle, and then the second set started on the left in the middle. And we're going to be staggering these going all the way down. So after laying the horizontals, we will go back to our first color, which is the border color, and we will lay a straight one on all 3 of those rows. So now I will go back to my first color because I'm only using 2 of them. You can grab a 3rd color right now, but make sure you start on the right like that, and then the middle. So if you are using just 1 set of 5 bars like me, you're going to be laying a total of 12 of these straight bands, which are my white. So you would count 12 of those. Once you have 12 straight, you're going to bring it in at the end to close it. And I'll show you that. If you're using 2 looms setups of 5 bars wide, you are going to lay 24 of those straight ones, and then you're going to bring it in at the end. Alrighty, so I'm at the end. I've laid 12 total of my straight ones. If you did lay 24 because you're using 2 looms, you will have 1 extra row. It is meant to be like that. So this is what it should look like at the end. We are going to grab 2 more of our border colors, and starting on the left, we're just going to bring it in 2 times, connecting it to the center, and then do the same on the right side. You do want to make sure that you go through and push these down a little bit because we're going to need room for our next set. So now we're going to be laying these teal bands on the back, and it is a lot of them to lay. So we're going to do one side. I think it'll be easier. So coming to the second pin here, we're going to do a diagonal stretch to the left, and then we're going to lay a horizontal connecting to the pin right next to it. It's kind of making a backward 7. So from here, we're going to go diagonally out to the right, and then lay a horizontal connecting to the pin next to it. So where we left off, we're now going to go to the left diagonally, and then horizontal. And then where we left off, we're now going to go diagonal to the right, and then horizontal. We're going to keep switching the direction of our diagonal band. So left, horizontal, diagonal right, horizontal. Take your time, keep alternating this, and we're going to do this up the loom. So the last band that you lay is going to be a diagonal band going out to the right. We will not have a horizontal to lay on that last row. We're going to come back to the beginning. We're going to do the same thing on the left side. I'm going to get you guys started just so nobody is confused. We go in the same direction that we did on this one. So on this second pin here, we will start by going diagonal to the left and then horizontal to the pin next to it. So you can see that it's exactly the same direction as the right side. So definitely hit that pause button if you need to. And once you're caught up, this is what it will look like at the end. So you can see my last band on the left side is also a diagonal band going to the right. So make sure that it looks like that. Now we do have to come back to the beginning. You will want to push all them down, but there's something I need you to do. We're going to come back to the beginning, and the very first diagonal band that we laid here, we're actually going to remove that. The only reason I had to lay that is because I felt it was the easiest way to teach the pattern, and I felt like it just looked confusing when I left that off. So what we need to do is this first diagonal band right here is take it off. So you can just grab it right in here and drop it like that, or whatever you need to do. If you need to pick this up temporarily to remove that and then reconnect the horizontal, just remove that very first one and it should look like that. So now using the same color that we just used, we need to lay a cap band on the second row's end going all the way down. So starting on the second pin right here, it's a regular cap band wrapped around 2 times. So we need to do that going all the way down the row. We just don't lay it on the first or last row. On this one as well, put a regular cap band wrapped around 2 times. Okay, so just to show you, I have my cap bands ending on the second to last row because we don't want those cap bands on the white. You have it going all the way up on both of those rows. So for now, we're going to turn our loom around with the openings facing us. And then we're going to grab our hook and we're going to start looping out of all of the cap bands that we just laid. So we're going to be looping right out of the center of the cap band. So when you go into the cap band, the next band that you're going to grab is the diagonal band. And the diagonal bands always get looped down. So back to themselves. Then go back in and the horizontal gets looped outwards to itself. Then you'll come up to the next center one and we'll loop that out. So once again, you're going to go into the cap band, grab the diagonal, loop it down, go back in, and loop this horizontal right out to itself. Everything goes back to the pin that it was coming from. Just keep going to the center cap band and looping the 2 bands out of each one. We are going to need to do this on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to be a bit ahead of you guys, but once you're done that, we're going to come back down to the beginning. We're going to be flipping the pink and green bands that are on the outer rows. It's our double bands, but we're only going to be flipping it on the outside bars. So I'm going to go right here on the third pin and grab these green. Remember that it is double bands. You're just flipping it over the pin and it will sit on that band. These are on every other row. You're going to do that on this right side, and you have to do the exact same thing on the left side. The only difference is the pink starts on the second row. So go ahead and do that same thing on this side, and then I will meet you back here. Alrighty, once they're all flipped over, we can go ahead and turn our loom around. We want the openings facing away from us again, and you do want to push the middle bands down to give us more room. We're going to be laying the bands that are yellow on this one. So we're going to start on the second row in and this first pin here. We need to place the band on the first pin And then we're going to go around the right side of the pin of the next one and connect it to the third one up. Where that band ended, we need to back up and we're going to start the next one. But this time we need to go around the left side of the next pin and then connect it to the third one up from there. So this is where I end it. I'm going to back up one. This is where I'm going to start connecting it. You're going to go around the left side of that one and then connect it to the pin above it. We need to alternate going around the right and then going around the left. So we end it here, back up. This is where we're going to start the next one. You're going to go around the right side of the next pin and connect it to the third one above that. So just make sure you keep backing up before starting to lay your next one. Swing it around the left and connect. We're going to alternate this all the way up, going around the right and going around the left. So once you're done, the last one should connect to the very last pin, and it should be going around the right side. That's the last one that should be laid. So you need to do this exact same thing on the other side. And just to get you started, the first one is going to start in the same direction as the other side did. So on the second pin right here, you're going to swing it around the right and connect it to the third one up. Back up and swing the next one around the left. So go ahead and do this side the same exact way, and then I will meet you guys back here when I'm done. So once you're all done, it should be matching on both sides, and we're going to go ahead and turn the loom around now. You do need to add a cap band on the front center pin. That will be your border color. I already added mine at some point, so it's already there, but wrap it twice around that pin. So we are going to start looping, but not out of that pin. We're going to actually be looping on the left, and we're going to be looping these double pinks out of the second row. So if you come up to this second pin, you do have to make sure that you're getting inside of those bands that we just laid in the last round. There's one band here, so make sure you're getting in front of that. Reach down, and out of the two double pinks, only grab the top one. You're going to loop that diagonally downwards, like that. Go back in, grab the second one, and that's going to go to the left, to the pin right next to it. That's exactly how we're going to loop all of the double bands on the sides. So you're going to be skipping the next one, come up to where your next double pink are right here. Make sure you get in front of that band that's on top. You're going to grab the top pink out of the two and loop it diagonally down. And the second one will go directly to the left. Come up to the next one and repeat. So the top band always gets looped diagonal down, and the second one always gets looped out to the left, at least for this side. So I'm going to get all of these looped out, and then I will meet you back here to get you started on the right side. Okay, so I have all my left side done. My voice, I feel it's going in and out, so I'm trying to save it, hoping I don't lose it. But now that that side's done, you're going to do the same thing on the right side. So you're going to come up and locate your first set of double bands. It's right here on the third pin. Once again, make sure you're getting in front of that top band on this row. And then out of the greens, the top one is going to go diagonally down. But for this side, it's going to go to the right. Go back in and grab the next one, and that goes directly to the pin to the right. Okay, so I have all of mine done now. So we're going to come all the way back down to the beginning where the cap band is, and we're going to loop this bottom row out of white. So when you reach into the cap band, you actually have to move the cap band plus two other bands, and then this horizontal band going to the left is the one that we're going to loop. And we're going to go back in again and grab the bottom band and loop that out. Come back to the cap band and loop the right side out the same way. So now we're going to focus on looping the double bands that alternate sides and then the center white. So we need to start in this pin. You're always grabbing one band at a time per section. So when you reach in here, make sure you're only grabbing the top band out of those double bands, and that top one's going to get looped diagonally down to the center. And then we're going to reach into that pin and we're going to loop the very bottom band forward. So move everything, grab the bottom, loop it up. So now this is where you're going to start to see the actual pattern, and I do feel like this is kind of tricky. We're going to go back into this pin. We're going to grab the bottom pink, and you're going to loop that to the middle. But now you also have to grab one from the next section. So come up here to where your next set of double bands are. You're going to reach in there and make sure you're only grabbing the top one, and you're going to loop that diagonally downwards to that same pin. Now we're going to reach in and loop the very bottom band forward. It's very tight. There's a lot of bands in there. Be careful when looping this. You don't want to break it. So we're going to repeat that process again. The reason it's tricky is because we have to keep alternating sides. So we just loop the white there. We need to go back into this pin and loop the remaining green. That gets looped right into the middle. We have to come up to the next section of double bands. Grab the top one, loop it diagonally downwards. We have the green and the pink, so two have been looped there, so we can go ahead and loop the very bottom band forward. So we're going to do that again. This is where we just looped the white, so we're going to go right next to it and loop the remaining pink into the center. Come up to the next section that has the double bands. You're going to grab the top one and loop it diagonally downwards to the same pin. And then loop the very bottom band forward. So go right next to it, grab the remaining band, loop it to the middle. Grab the top band from the next set of double bands, loop it diagonally down. And loop the very bottom band forward. So keep following along as I loop this in case you still haven't caught on. This part takes some patience. So I'm going to give you a quick glimpse of what it's looking like. So I'm going to go ahead and get mine finished off camera, and then I'll come back when I reach the top. Just in case you don't know what to do at the top, I'm coming back on. So we have one remaining band here on the second to last pin. And just like normal, you loop it into the center. That is the last band that we have to loop there. Just don't forget to loop the very bottom band forward, or else things will fall apart, and we don't want that. So we have all of the middle done now, and all we have left to do is loop up the border, which is the easiest part of the whole bracelet. Doesn't matter which side you start on. I'll actually do the left side with you guys. All we need to do is go in and grab the very bottom band and loop it forward. There's no flipping or anything. You're just looping the very bottom band up on every row. Some of the rows have more bands on them, so be careful. But other than that, it is the easiest part. Once you get to this top pin, you're just going to bring the top into the center 2 times like so. So you guys are going to go ahead and do that same thing on the right side. You will want to use your hook to release the outer edges. You don't want to go ripping it off or it's going to make it a mess. And then I'll get this done and I'll meet you back. Okay, so when you reach the very top, we're just going to grab that loose band that we had laid there. Reach in and grab the other end. Bring both ends together and we can go ahead and C-clip it. I think I actually am going to use an easy clip instead. But as I said a minute ago, use your hook to release all of the outer bands. You can pull up once you have all of the outer ones released if you feel comfortable doing so, or you can use your hook to release everything. But I'm going to go ahead and get mine released. Alrighty, you guys, so when you take it off of the loom, you are going to want to give it a nice little stretch. Just to help things fall into place. If you did only use the one set like me, you're going to need to make a fishtail extension. I will link a video in the description box and in the eye above if you don't know how to do that. So you are going to want to stretch to the left and the right if you're going to wear it on the front side. I kind of like roll it as I stretch it a little bit just to help it round out and lay better on that side. So I'm not going to make an extension for this right now. I'm going to set that to the side. But that's how you make my April Bliss bracelet. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it wasn't too difficult. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.